Hey guys, welcome to Angie Speaks. Thanks for joining me. Um, I finished working today and I was thinking to myself and I wonder if there are any other gropers out there. Yeah, that's the question for today. Are you a groper? And no. I'm not talking about these bags on the train that grope people sexually. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about groping as in you go into a very dark room. You've never been there before, and you know the light switch should be somewhere in the vicinity, but you really don't know where. So you feel along the wall, hoping it's on the wall, hoping you don't snatch a snake or something, and hopefully you find it. But you really don't know that it's there for sure, but you think it's there. That's groping. Groping is, you know, you just don't know. I've groped. I've been a groper, you know. I have groped emotionally because I struggle with anxiety, as you know. And for the longest time, I would just be triggered by different things and didn't know that I was being triggered. Heck, I didn't even know what the word trigger meant as it relates to me being anxious. I didn't know that I had a trigger. So I would not go and get help. I would just struggle and go through the torture of being anxious. I've groped financially. I remember once, well, not once, a number of times back in the day. I remember I think I had an account at Chase and an account at Citibank. And more often than I want to admit, I'd go to the bank and put my card in and it'll be overdrawn. And I did not know how to manage my money. And I wasn't trying to find out how either. I just, was winging it, constantly getting fees because I was groping in the dark. I needed financial education, but I preferred to grope. I remember groping spiritually as well. This whole thing of I believe in God because I was brought up this way, but not really knowing how to connect God to my life. Like, what does that really mean? How do I go from being religious to being righteous? To really having a connection with my maker? Two total different things, but I was groping for the longest. Have you been there? To be honest with you, sometimes I still grope, but the difference is now I know where to go for the answers. And if I don't know where to go for the answers, I at least know that I don't know. See, there's a difference between not knowing and then not knowing that you don't know. There's a different level of ignorance when you don't know that you don't know. For example, I sell technology to the federal, state, and local government, right? In my IT consultancy. And a lot of times I go in to see clients, and even if I've known them for years, if they're looking for a solution, I ask all the questions that I can think of. I tell them about the features and the benefits, or I have somebody else demonstrate it to them while I'm there. But at the end of the conversation, usually about an hour, I still ask a very critical question. Mr. Client, is there anything that I should be asking you that I should have asked that I didn't ask? What does that say? That says I'm curious. That says I don't know I don't know everything. I want to know more about you. I'm really interested in your welfare. It's saying to the client, I'm on your side, right? Because I don't know everything about him, no matter how much I think I know. So that's a very critical question for me to ask. And, it's been paying off with coins. I get great sales. We've all been gropers at one point or another, groping in the dark, trying to find the answers and don't really know the answers. But it's worse when we don't know that we don't know, so we don't even ask the question, should I even be asking about this particular situation? I want to encourage you to become curious, to become, just very, very inquisitive, especially as it pertains to your personal development and your growth. You know, weekly we've been having this series, Clarity in Crisis. During this period, you should be asking a lot of questions because none of us have ever been through a COVID-19. None of us have experienced the impact emotionally, financially, spiritually, relationally, physically of COVID-19, a virus of this massive scale. None of us. So it makes sense that you and I should be devising questions to ask, whether it be somebody professional in the medical field or in the psychiatric field or in the financial field, whatever, spiritual field, you know, someone who can ask you the questions that will get you to like think. Because sometimes that's what's missing. We're around people that don't really challenge us, don't really ask us any questions. And there's a scripture that I really want to read to you because it supports my point about really being open to being asked questions and putting yourself in an environment where you can be challenged. It's in Proverbs chapter, of course now I'm looking for it, can't find it, but it was just right here. It says in Proverbs 18 verse 4, it says, actually it's Proverbs 20 verse 5, it says, the purposes of a person's heart are deep waters, but one who has insight draws them out. Tomorrow is another opportunity for us to ask Dr. Brown questions as it pertains to how to remain emotionally healthy during this very, very stressful time. She's going to go through some bullets about how we can maintain or recover our emotional health during this time. I encourage you to come and ask questions. You can even ask questions beforehand and we'll make sure it gets answered during the broadcast tomorrow at 10 a.m. EST. Because like I said, we've all been gropers, but it's worse when you don't know that you don't know and you don't ask because you don't know that you don't know. I know it sounds kind of convoluted, but trust me, if you can say, you know what, is there questions that I should be asking that I'm not asking because I don't know I should ask, that will help you to get on the right track, to get some questions answered. It could be questions about yourself, questions about your finances, questions about your emotional well-being. Well, tomorrow is specifically about your emotional well-being and how to stay healthy. So come join us and be deliberate about your development to heal, aspire, and grow. And visit us on our website. The program to sign up for support is www.evespeaks.com/programs/heal. How about you? Are you asking the critical question? Is there something I should be asking of my life right now that I don't know that I should be asking? Do what I do when I go and see a client. Mr. Client, is there something I should be asking that I didn't ask that I should have asked? That will get you in a place, you'll position yourself to really go deep. You know what I mean? Not just wide, but deep. Some of us have been living with ourselves for a long time and we figure this is just the way we are. Oh, that's just the way she is. Oh, I've always been like this. Well, if that's working for you, you can stay that way. But if you really want to grow and become the next best version of yourself, be willing to be curious about where you are right now. Because you may have some possibility and some promise all up in there. But because you haven't surrounded yourself with people that can ask you the questions to pull out the answers, as it says in Proverbs 20, to draw it out of you, you're going to just stay at this stage of certain level of growth when you could be busting out like petals or like, you know, the radiance of a rainbow full of colors. You know what I mean? So join us tomorrow, 10 a.m. EST, as we spend time with Dr. Brown as she answers questions on how to remain emotionally healthy during this pandemic. I look forward to seeing you. Have a great evening. I will talk to you next time. And of course, my phone is ringing right now. But enjoy.